All right, hello and welcome to yet another live coaching with Leslie. I'm so excited that you are all here, for those of you that are live and for those of you that are watching the replay. This is another episode, another session of live coaching with Leslie. We do this every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern, and I am excited that so many of you are here. We've got a few people here in the house that I want to shout out because you guys are here. What's up, Katyan? So glad you're here. Today we're talking about what my experience over the last month of being away from social media. So Peter is saying, I hope it's better be more than it was good, and then I log out again. Then we've got Candace is in the house. What's going on? So glad that you're here. Caracola Bella is in the house as well. Sweet. Glad to have you here. The Scooby Life is in the house. We've got a lot of people on here with us today, and I'm excited to see all of your faces, even though I'm not seeing your actual faces. And I'm just seeing I'm seeing some of your pictures, which is great. We have got Alice in the house. We've got Jamil. A number of you are here on live. I'm excited. My cousin is in the house from Curaçao. Sweet. Hey, if you are here live, let me know where you're tuning in from, because I know we got people from all over the world, and I am excited. So today we are going to be talking about my experience with being away from social media. If you are on YouTube right now, if you're on Facebook and you want to come on live to ask a question or to get coached, you can do so. I left the Zoom link in the comments, and you can come by and check that out. Let's see really quick. Okay. I want to talk about this experience. Oh, really quick. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and hit subscribe, because I got a lot of great stuff coming your way. We've been working on some stuff behind the scenes, which should be coming out within the next 2 or 3 weeks. And I'm excited. It's going to be so much value. I'm just excited just because I am excited. That's it. AM Dalton is in Massachusetts. We'll be heading to Florida in 12 days. That's what's up. Glad. I mean, anytime you can come to Florida is a good thing, right? Caracola Bella is in St. Martin in the house. What's up, my people? Yes, Curaçao. Feel it for yourself. Love it. Love it. Love it. Glad to have you all here. Let's talk about the last month, because the last months have been interesting, and I want to give you a little bit of background. In August, I made a decision, and my decision was I wanted to take a break from media, not just social media, but just media. Social media, traditional media, any media for entertainment purposes, playing games and video games and those kinds of things. I just wanted to take a break from all of it. And there were a few reasons why. I wanted to slow things down for myself personally. And what I mean by that is I found that, when I'd be trying to work, or when I wake up in the morning, or when I'm having a conversation with my wife or my kids or whatever the case might be, I found myself super distracted. Like easily distracted. Not like at an extreme level, but it was at a level that was beyond what I was comfortable with. And I knew that because I was consuming so much, there was a lot of stuff going on in my mind. I don't know if you've ever felt that way. If you've ever felt that way, let me know in the chat. In the comments, just so that I know that I'm not alone. Let me know that I'm not by myself where that is concerned. So I decided I was going to take a break. I wanted to just kind of clear my mind and focus on a few other things. And that's what I did. So what I did was I blocked social media on my devices. Like there's an app that I have on my Mac that's called Self-Control. And what you can do on that app is you can go and add a number of sites to a list, and then you can set a timer. And once that timer is going, you're not able to go to those sites. And no matter what you do, you're not going to be able to go to the sites. It's going to act as if those sites don't even exist. So what I did was I hacked the program to make it so that it not just goes for a few hours, but I made it go for the entire month of September. So there was literally nothing I could do to get on my Mac and come on social media. The only thing I could do to get on social media on that device was format the entire hard drive and start over. That's the only way. Even if you uninstall the program, you still can't get online. So I installed that on my computer. I set it up to block all the social media sites and so on. On my PC, I edit one of the files so that it blocks specific websites. I found a tutorial on YouTube to do that. I removed all social media from my phone. I removed email from my phone, and any apps that I find myself going to like quickly and like, oh, I have a little bit of a break. Let me go and do this. All of those things I completely removed from my phone. And the idea was, I'm just not going to consume media. I'm not going to watch TV. The only content that I would consume is educational content or inspirational content, something that builds me up, teaches me how to do something. Like my wife and I, we signed up for masterclass.com, and there was a gardening course that we went through. There's a writing course that I'm going through. I got some courses on Udemy that I went through and so on. And I basically, for the month of September, replaced all traditional media, social media, and entertainment media for media that's going to edify me, media that's going to help me in some kind of way. And you know what? It was pretty good. It was pretty good. It went well. What I realized was that I didn't miss being on social media. There was no day that I woke up and I was kind of like, oh, I want to go to social media. It was actually kind of like a breath of fresh air. And this is me. This is not me saying everybody get off social media or anything of that sort. This is me saying it was a good break. So what I do, because I noticed that in the morning when I wake up, I take out my phone and get on my phone and do some stuff and browse and check Facebook and yada, 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 and so on. But instead, in the morning, I'd wake up. And when I'd wake up, I'd come and do my devotions. I'd do some reading or some mindset stuff. I went through a course on NLP, which is a certain, well, anyhow, I was going through a course, and then I'd do my exercise, and then I'd get to work. And what I found was that I was just much less distracted. I was still somewhat distracted because, my mind wanders and all that good stuff, but it wasn't as much as before. So the interesting thing about it is now the month is over, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, now the month is over, what do you do? And what I've decided is I don't ever want to go back to what I was doing before. Now, what exactly does that look like? I'm not sure over the long run, but I do know a few things. Number one, I want to be much more limited in the amount of time I spend on social media. I want to be much more limited in the amount of time that I spend watching TV. For now, there's no rush to come back to social media and start posting and reading and consuming stuff the way that I've been doing it. I'm actually going to extend the fast in some ways. I might come on social media once a week just to share some stuff or just to connect in a certain way. I'm thinking about doing something like that. And I don't know when that's going to end because I don't feel like I'm missing anything. Before I left social media, when I scrolled through my news feed, I saw a bunch of junk, quite frankly. I saw a bunch of mad and angry people who's angry at this situation or that situation and so on. And I understand all of that. But I find that social media gives us a distorted sense of reality. And I don't know that I want to continue consuming all of that. Not at the frequency that I was doing it before. And I don't ever want it to go back to that personally. Because I find that when those distractions are removed, I'm able to focus more. And that's exactly what I want to do. I found that I was doing a lot of simple things that I wasn't doing before. I was doing more cleaning around the house. That makes my wife happy. I know that for sure. I was spending more time just doing nothing. And that's great. I like to do nothing from time to time. And I was spending more time consuming the kind of content that's going to make me into the person that I want to continue to be. And that to me is extremely powerful. So I'm looking, and I consume, Caracabella says, I call it noise. That's exactly what it is. There's a lot of noise. And what I've realized is with all the noise, it makes it hard to concentrate. Have you ever been in a place where you're trying to read a book and there's just a bunch of noise going on around you? It's distracting. I am someone that wants to create. I am a creator. I was created to create. I believe we were all created to create. It's a part of us. And when there's constant noise, for me, it makes it much harder to be creative. It makes it much harder to do the things that you actually want to do to accomplish your goal and your goals. And if I know that that is the case, I want to minimize that. So I'm continuing my break in some way. I'm going to continue not consuming as much on social media. I'm not consuming anything on social media right now. But when I do come on social media, whether it's once a week or whatever I ultimately decide, it's going to be coming from a perspective of what can I create? What value can I put out there into the world? And how can I share that with others? That is something that I'm becoming much more passionate about. I've made more videos in the last few weeks. I've written more in the last few weeks. I've gone through more courses in the last few weeks. I've done more things of value. I've started woodworking. The Scooby Life says, "Show us your woodworking." I would, but it's not here right now. There's actually one thing that I made with woodworking, which is like a farmer, and then my knives got dull. So I'm actually I just got them sharpened to continue the process of woodworking, and that's fine. Okay, so Diane is asking a great question, but in terms of marketing yourself, how does this fast work? That is a great question. Here's what I've come to realize. Many of us marketers that market ourselves on social media, what we end up doing is getting very busy on social media, oftentimes, and calling that marketing. And the reality is, just being on social media is not marketing yourself. And what I find is that we can be much more strategic with how we spend our time if we're on social media to market ourselves, to promote our businesses. Quite frankly, you don't have to spend that much time on social media to market your business. You can schedule things in advance. You can say, hey, I'm going to set these specific times that I come onto social media to do these specific things. That is much different from me being on social media and scrolling through my news feed and seeing what this person is doing, seeing what that person is doing, and seeing what this that's not marketing to me. So I market myself. I actually, full disclosure, I have someone that manages my social media platforms for me, and they do some of the promotion stuff and so on. But even in that, there's stuff that's scheduled in advance so that it doesn't take a ton of my time. So I've gotten help, and also I want to be mindful that when I am marketing myself on social media, I'm actually doing that. I want to be mindful that when I'm on social media, like right now I'm on social media to create content. technically speaking, this is marketing myself because I'm showing up and I'm providing value. When you do that, that is marketing yourselves. But that is, instead of just mindlessly scrolling, that is not marketing. That is just wasting time. So it's more of, I want to be conscious of the time that I actually spend. I want to make it purposeful, and I want to do it to accomplish a specific goal. And if I'm not doing that, then I might as well be off of social media at that point in time. We have some other comments. Angela says, we all need that quiet time away from the hustle and bustle. That's exactly it. We need that quiet time from the hustle and bustle. And I find myself needing that quiet time much more often, because the more of that quiet time I have, the more ideas. I've noticed that especially over the last week. Ideas have been coming to my mind about things that I could do that, if I were just in the middle of the hustle and bustle, they wouldn't come to my mind as readily. So I'm so glad to be able to do that. As Caracola Bella says, you want to be mindful. That is exactly what it's about. You want to be mindful. Rashama Moses Reed says, you are awesome, sir. Thank you. You are awesome, sir. I appreciate that. So that is what it's been like. I don't want to go back to how I was using social media before. I want to be more mindful. I'm continuing. I'm not even calling it a fast anymore. I'm just continuing a new way of living. I'm not going to buy into the notion that we have to constantly be on. We have to constantly be engaging. We have to constantly be showing up. And if someone sends me a message now, I need to respond immediately. No, that is not my reality, and that is not what I want my reality to be. Plain and simple. So those are my thoughts. For today's session, I actually didn't even send out an email, so I didn't expect a lot of people to show up, or I wasn't even sure if anyone would show up. I kind of did this as an experiment to see what was going on. I do see we have someone on Zoom. Ray, I don't know if you have a question, but if you have a question, I am happy to take that. You can go ahead and unmute yourself.
All right, let's see. Good to see you again.
Hey, man, good to hear you. How you doing?
I'm doing better. Doing better. We had spoken last one about Vmix,
yes,
and Elgato.
Yes,
call Elgato. And I was wondering if you could give some more tips and possible demos of using it, because I did a little more research, and I can see that being very, very powerful. So, like I said, I'm on a PC, and my primary objective is for using it for the church. I'll use it for more than that, but I would just like to be able to use it for church and be able to show different cameras and put in the pop-ups and so on and so forth. So that's my request.
Awesome. All right. That's a great question. Vmix is, so just for anyone that's watching, by the way, we're transitioning now to the live coaching part. If you have a question and you're on YouTube or Facebook, you can type in your question there. If you'd like to come over and ask your question via audio or video, use the link the first comment that on either of those videos is the link to Zoom, and you can come over here to ask your question just like Ray just did. So what Ray is asking about, there's a program that I use for my live streaming, and that program is called Vmix. I'm going to show you that program. Wait, just really quick. I need to refresh my screen here because I didn't have it fully set up for sharing that. And that's going to be ready in 3, 2, and 1. All right, so this right here is the program that I am currently using to manage this live stream. And I just want to point out a few things about this program. This program is called Vmix. It's a PC-based program that allows me to set up a bunch of scenes, basically. And what you can see here is there are a bunch of different scenes that I have set up. There's a scene for my camera. There's a scene for my camera zoomed in. There's a scene for one desktop. There's a scene for my other desktop. There's another scene here for my camera, another camera, and there's a camera behind me. And basically I have all of these elements set up in Vmix. Then I have this device here, and this device is called the Elgato Stream Deck. And this Stream Deck can be programmed. You can see like there are all these things here. These pictures that you're seeing here are all representing a scene. So what I can easily do with that is I can say, show my screen, or show my camera, or show this webcam, or show this webcam, or ask people to subscribe, or bring in this little title screen. This allows me basically to map this to all of those assets and resources and so on that I've set up in Vmix so that I can easily switch between it. Now, this program is not a simple program. When you open up Vmix, it is a blank canvas. And every single thing you want, you have to set up. If you want there to be an overlay of an image or a video to play or anything, you have to put that in manually. And then now you can route it to that. This program I like to compare to Photoshop. You know, there's Photoshop and then there's iPhoto. iPhoto, the average person can bring their pictures in there and then hit a button and the picture looks a little better. They have all these presets and so on that you can do, and almost anyone can go into iPhoto and take a picture and make it look a little better. There are programs like that. But then there are programs like Photoshop where you can make a picture look amazing if you know what you're doing and if you know how to build every edit from scratch, basically. Vmix is kind of like Photoshop. It has the power to do just about anything you want it to do, but in order for it to work, you have to actually learn the program and put everything together. And that can be a little complicated, but once it's set up, now it's easy. Does that make sense? You there, Ray?
Yes, that does. Also, Leslie, it's not none of the demonstrations showing in Zoom.
Ah, yes, that's because
But that's okay. I've got it on. I'm seeing it. I've got two cameras. I mean, I see it on YouTube.
Gotcha. Well, I think I fixed that now. Just tell me if you see the subscribe button.
I do.
All right, good. I forgot to map it to Zoom so that you can see that as well. You see, that's a great illustration, right? Because with Vmix, I'm sending one feed to social media and a completely separate feed to Zoom. I have that flexibility because I can literally do just about anything using Vmix. But if I don't do that setting, then you're not going to see what they're seeing. So yeah, it's very flexible, very powerful. I love this for live streaming. And once you have it set up, it just works.
So the question then is, with the Vmix, you don't need anything else. Like I think I was telling you that I was using Streamyard. So you don't need a Streamyard. You can just do your broadcast right from Vmix?
Exactly. I could take Vmix and I can stream to a bunch of different places from the Vmix if I want.
Okay.
As long as my bandwidth and my bandwidth is strong enough and my computer is powerful enough, I could do whatever. I could take over the world with a live stream. I could bring someone, like, I don't even need to use Zoom, honestly. I could bring you in to Vmix and do the call that way as well.
Would you send me a link, or how would another person be able to enter?
Yeah, I would send you a link, and when I send you a link, basically your camera, once you connect to that link, it's going to have a specific code. It would show up as one of these scenes, one of these elements in my Vmix thing.
Okay.
And then I could send different links to different people, and now each person will be in a different box here. And I can, once again, use my switcher to say, okay, now it's Ray's turn to talk. And I can bring you on. And then I can say, hey, I want Ray and me on the screen. And I can link that to that. And all kinds of stuff. It's very advanced, but it works very well.
So pre-recorded as well. So if I wanted, one thought I had was if I wanted to have an interview and I want to interview myself.
Yep.
So that now I could have a recorded version and then go back and forth as if I'm talking to myself.
You could, but that would be kind of complicated.
It was just an idea.
Yeah. You could literally, when it comes to your live stream, if you can think about doing something, you can most likely do it in Vmix, as long as you know how to set it up.
Okay. Thank you, Lex.
You are very much welcome. All right. So I see we have a few questions on the socials. So let's see. Oh, great question. Okay, so Caracola Bella is asking, what is your thought on Streamyard? Streamyard is great. I think it's a simple way of doing a professional live stream and bring people in and do all that kind of stuff. I've done a number of streams on Streamyard and it works very well. It's kind of like what I was saying before about iPhoto. You have these platforms that they make it easy for you. That is what StreamYard is. It's one of those options where, you don't even have to install the program on your computer. You can just use the browser. So I think that works well. I'm a big fan of Vmix. I'm a big fan of Ecamm Live if you're on a Mac. I think that's the best program for a Mac. If you don't want to install a program, StreamYard is a good version for doing a live stream as well. Ray MacArthur says we have to listen to hear our. Wait, did I bring it on here? Yes, we have to listen to hear our calling. That's it. That right there. That statement is so powerful because I believe we all have a calling, and sometimes we can't hear that calling because there's so much noise. So I think it's a good practice to withdraw. And I don't just mean like withdraw from social media. I mean like on a daily basis withdraw. That's why I spend the first 3 hours of my morning by myself. I go for my walk. I listen to a podcast. I do my Bible study. I do my reading. I do my prayer. I mean, it's just me and God, quite frankly. And having those 3 hours for me has been so helpful. I mean, I can't even explain how helpful it has been. All right, so Ray says StreamYard has worked and it's easy for me, and that's exactly it. StreamYard is a great option, honestly. They created a great program, and I'm just impressed with what they have created. And I'm looking forward to seeing how this whole field continues to develop. All right, did I miss anything? Dr. Tanya is in the house. Hello, new to this community. Sweet, I am so glad to have you as a part of this community. Welcome, 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 and I hope to see you on these live streams every week. Oh, man. Okay, sweet. I don't see any other questions. Caracola Bella says, my time is walking in the early morning. I love the early morning. That's my time, too. I wake up at 4:45, and I'm on the road walking by like 5:15. And I go for just like a 30-minute walk, and then I come back and I continue my studies and my quiet time and all that good stuff. And then I will do some reading. I might do some writing depending on the day and all that good stuff. And man, it's so refreshing. There's something about waking up early in the morning and having that quiet time that to me is just so impactful. So I mean, some people aren't morning people, and I completely understand that. And if that's the case for you, then you got to know what works best for you. But that does work well for me as well. All right, I don't see any other questions. If you do have a question, I'm going to stick around for a little while. Just as a reminder, yes, I do this every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern. And it's something, it's just exciting for me. And yeah, I love doing this. I love connecting with you guys and all that good stuff. Ray says, Map My Run app works well for my walking. That is awesome. I'm a Apple Watch guy, and this device here, this is not an advertisement for Apple. This device has changed my life. It really has changed my life because it tracks all of my activity, and then it gives you your streaks. So, I don't have my phone here, so I can't show. But basically, since I got this in October of last year, my goal has always been to close my loops each and every day. And that's exercise and the amount of calories that you burn and how much standing you're doing the day so that you're not always sitting at your desk and all that good stuff. And I've closed all the rings every single day since October of last year. And it's kind of this thing where I don't care what's going on in the day. I will close those rings. If I didn't get as much exercise and it's not there, before I go to bed, I'm going to be there jogging next to the bed just to make sure that I close it. And I've done it every single day except one day. So my streak was broken at like 236 days. And it was so upsetting because I didn't realize I was 3 calories under the goal for the day. So because of that, the circle looked like it was closed, but it was like this little piece that didn't close, so it started over from day one. But if you look at my thing and you just scroll, all of it has closed. This device has literally changed my life and influenced me to exercise every single day. I've exercised every single day for a minimum of 30 minutes since October of 2019. So it's almost been a year, and that's because of this device and because of the commitment that I made. All right, let's see. Peaceful in nature. Yes, indeed. I just absolutely love it. Early morning here in Scotland, UK. Sweet. Glad to have you here. Early morning, first thing in the morning. It's a great way to start your day. Let's see. Ray, you unmuted yourself. Is that because you have another question?
Yes, the church. This question is regarding sound.
Yes.
And sound quality. And so we have a mixer at church that we bring outside because I explained we do the outside drive-up service.
Yes.
And so I'm thinking of connecting my laptop directly to the mixer so I can have much better sound quality. Mm-hmm. Will Vmix pick that up, the fact that I'm now connected to the mixer?
Absolutely. Well, as long as it can connect to the mixer. How are you connecting to the mixer? Let me ask that question.
I haven't done it yet, but the guy that takes care of that part said that it's easy, that it can be done.
Okay.
So it's physically running a cable from my laptop to the somewhat portable mixer that we take outside. So we have the singers and the pastor speaking, and several wireless mics. But what's happened in the past is sound quality.
Yes.
And so if I can get that direct, that would take care of the sound quality issue.
So yes, once again, if you can think about it, you could do it with Vmix. Just so you know, because my wife and I, we do this thing that we call Friday Night Music. And we have my keyboard here. I'm playing the keyboard and my wife is singing. And we have all of that coming in. Let me see if I could show you this here. To this device here. And this device basically has 18 channels. And what Vmix can do is I can literally, let's say I had an 18-piece band. I could literally bring each channel into Vmix individually and mix it in Vmix if I wanted to. So yes, if you can connect the mixer to your computer and have that audio coming into your computer, Vmix will recognize that. You just have to like go into like if I come here and let me show you this here really quick. I would come to add an input and I would choose an audio input, and I would basically, these are all of the different audio inputs that are coming into my computer. I would basically select whichever one I want, and then I can add that on here and then control that on here. So yeah, it literally is an amazing piece of software that does just about everything.
That would be perfect because he was showing me, Thaddeus was showing me the mixer, which I'm right next to him anyway, physically.
Yeah.
When we do it, and then we have several wireless mics. The pastor has a wireless mic. The band, there are other mics, and so I could see being able to choose which one I want, and then taking care of the sound quality. Thank you. That's a big help.
Exactly. One thing I would mention, so this is the Stream Deck. There's a small version, which is this. Well, there's a smaller version than this with like 6 of these. And then there's this version that has the 15. And then there's a bigger one, the XL. I want to get rid of this and get the XL. Because you'd think that, oh, I have 15 different things I could do. That's easy. I mean, I'd never fill that up. It's all full, and I want more. Because every little thing, when I bring this in, this is one button. So any little element that you're bringing in, if I want to mute myself, I could mute myself on here. Having more buttons would be a good thing. So if you have a choice, I would definitely go with the bigger one.
Okay, because I haven't picked that up yet, and I was looking at a medium-sized one. That's a good point.
That's this one. This is the medium-sized one.
Right.
I want to get rid of this now and this is just me at home, and just me at home. I want to get rid of that because so let me just show you an example, give you an overview of what I have here. This is my camera. This is if someone was on Zoom and they wanted to bring in their camera. This is me and them on camera. Then this is one screen. This is my comments that I could bring in by pressing that. Yeah. This is record. This is to stream. If I want to stream, I could start the stream here and end the stream here. This is to send the video to Zoom. This is to go to one webcam, the next webcam. This is to mute everything. This is the timer that I play at the beginning. And this is the title screen. And this is the subscribe button. There are a bunch of other scenes on there that I can't put on here now because it's all full. Okay. So it is, and especially if you're using multiple programs, the multiple programs. The beauty is this can do all the Vmix stuff, but then it could control stuff on Zoom, and it can control my browser window. It can control basically anything that you could do a keyboard shortcut for on your computer. You can control it from this device.
You don't know how much of a big help that is because I until you mentioned, I wasn't that aware of it, and I can see that being a big, just pushing a button. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Okay, thank you.
You are very much welcome. And one of the things the reason why I got this entire setup is because I had a membership where I wanted to answer people's questions via video. But when I'm doing that, I basically open up Vmix. I hit record, so I'm not doing anything on the computer. Hit record. I say what I gotta say. If they ask me how to do something, I can start like this, then I can share my screen, and then I can show them, and then I end the recording. I'm done, ready to upload the video and answer their question. And it took me less time to do that, to make a professional video production, than it would take for me to type out a response to their question, and they get served more powerfully. Right. It's just a powerful setup.
Okay, thank you, Leslie. I appreciate it.
You are very much welcome. All right. Caracola says, this is a great live, very engaging. I'm so glad to hear that because that's what I was going for. I always like to make this stuff engaging. I want to make it valuable. And I'm so glad to hear that it was that way for you all. I think we're going to go ahead and wrap things up. I want to thank you all for coming and joining me this evening. You are awesome. For those of you that are watching the replay, thank you so much. If you're hearing this, that means you watched all the way to the end. You rock. And I appreciate you. Hey, if you are not subscribed to the YouTube channel, I want to invite you. Just go to youtube.com/LeslieSamuelTV. Hit subscribe. I have a course that's coming out soon. The name of that course is How to Track the ROI of Social Media. And in that course, I am walking you through step by step how to determine down to the dollar amount. You posted this link on Facebook and it drove X number of visitors, made X number of sales, and being able to identify down to that individual link that you posted how things are performing. Most people, what they do is they share stuff on social media, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, yada, 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 and they hope that people come and buy. Now, with this course, you'll be able to see exactly what is working. See that that link that you posted on your Facebook page on the 15th of September about that particular topic, this is the result of you doing that. And the beauty of that is what you're then able to do is you're then able to see what is working and what is not working. You'll be able to see that when you post this kind of content, whatever this means, you're getting more clicks, you're getting more sales if you have something to sell. And you'll be able to see literally, I will show you how to be able to determine that one link from September the 15th about that particular topic drove 5 sales of my product and brought in this amount of revenue. This is a course that I am launching. And you know how much I'm charging for this course? It's a very advanced course, a very detailed course. I did it in a way that you can follow. If you're a beginner and you're just learning this stuff, you'll be able to follow it from beginning to end. And I am putting it out there for the whopping price of free. You won't have to pay anything. It's just going to be freely available on YouTube. So I highly recommend, if you are not connected on YouTube, to get connected on YouTube. I'm going to put it up there again. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on the bell notification icon. This is the first of many courses. I am no longer selling courses. I am just giving them away. Why? Because I want to provide value. I want to serve people. And that's part of my calling. You know, me taking this time away helped me to solidify where I want to go, how I want to show up in the world, and the value that I want to provide to you. And I literally mean that. So make sure you're subscribed. Have an amazing rest of the night. Or for Diane in Scotland, a wonderful day. I'll be back next week. See you all. Have a great day or night. All right, guys. Take care, y'all.